Okay, Nick, we're going to talk about something today around this whole IT ops coming together that I'm going to be the bold one that says it. And then I want to just talk about it because I get it, having a small business, a lot of times you're like, "Oh, can I just do it myself or can my team do it myself?" And I will tell you, putting on my COO hat for my clients, one thing that freaks me out is anything that's like compliance or security, or you could get in a lawsuit, or all of those things. Those are the things that make me go. And one of the things that can happen is thinking you can handle IT security in-house. And so I'd love to know, like, maybe what they could, but really, when is it time to bring in a security IT pro, someone like yourself?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a few different ways to tackle this. I think if your business operationally is dealing in certain regulated industries and you have that kind of compliance, do not do it yourself. That's just a flat line right there. Like, really, you need a professional to come in and handle those processes or whatever you need to do compliance wise. There are other things that are pertain to all businesses that you should be doing legally, that most are not still, and that one of the big ones is like ADA compliance on websites.
Yeah.
People just don't know about it, or maybe you built your website yourself and you didn't think about it, or something like that. It really, it's something that's super important to have. Um, for compliance and also just in general from a legal standpoint. So you need to work with a professional who would know about this kind of thing and make sure that you're in good standing with that.
I love that. Well, I
Yeah.
think too, when we talk about security, it's not just legal. I know I have some clients who are like, "Oh, Jen, I'm not super worried about being sued. I'm really small." But that's not always the case. One, that's where sometimes people are targeting businesses that don't think they would be under there. I've heard of stories of it. But the other thing besides the legal that does worry me is that I also worry about you losing your important things. You've got documents, like there's security around that, or so many times now it could get hacked, all of that. So I just worry too about keeping your good stuff you've been working on.
Yeah, absolutely. And something as basic as like onboarding and offboarding procedures.
Hmm.
Like tech is so wrapped around that at this point as well. Like how can you make sure, how do you know all the systems and all the logins that your employee had access to? How can you ensure that they are all taken care of? There are really seamless ways to get to the point where you can change one login or change one password and it locks an employee out of everything, or create one login and it allows an employee access to everything. That's the dream, but it's really just, you need to have some kind of process, some kind of technical process around that to make sure it happens. Because like you said, if an employee is no longer working at your company but still has access to your stuff, that could be not good.
Yeah, absolutely. So these are great reasons not to handle everything in-house. Maybe a few tiny, tiny little things, but it makes me really nervous for my clients to handle these things in-house, and I appreciate you saying that. What would be, though, I think the reason that a lot of people that are small businesses would say, "Yeah, that's great, Jen, but it sounds really expensive," or "I need a whole IT." Like, what does that mean? So one of the things that I love about you, Nick, is you work with small businesses. You're being able to put a whole business around helping them be able to get access. So maybe you could tell a little bit about, like, when do they know it's right to call someone like you who can help them and not be afraid of what you don't know, which is, okay, it could be actually doable to have an IT professional to access and not have to do it all in-house.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been in the tech business my whole career, and I specifically started this company to focus on these smaller businesses that may have been priced out of reliable tech support in the past. but nowadays there are really good methods, and even if it's a long-term project to get you to that mountaintop of having one login for everything, there are ways to accomplish these things and get businesses in solid technical shape, um, without the crazy costs and without the owners doing everything themselves. So you can work with a pro, even if it's just to identify what you should be doing or technically plan. So yeah, there's tons of ways that you can still get the right technical help.
Well, and that's why I appreciate you exist. That's why I've loved having you do these series with me, is that you, like me, have a heart for these small businesses. We want them to succeed and we don't want to have them get in their own way. So thanks again, Nick. Now, if someone's ready for that pro, what would it be to reach out to you?
Yeah, I'm Nick with Held High Tech, and you can reach me at nick@heldhightech.com.
All right, Nick, thanks so much.
Thanks, Jen.